everyone, welcome to Kylie's Corner. So in this vlog I am reading Ruin and Rising by Leigh Bardugo. It is the third and final installment in the Grisha trilogy. So just follow along with me as I read and give you my thoughts on it. So I am 40 pages into Ruin and Rising now, and I wanted to check in because I haven't yet. And so far I'm liking this book much better than I liked the second one. There's a lot more action and I just like what's going on better because I wasn't really a fan of all of the things that were happening in the second one. So it's going much better. I'm enjoying it a lot more. Plus, Nikolai just hopped on the scene again. We didn't know where he was for the first part of this book, and he's back. So, very happy about that. Because he, I think, is one of my favorite characters now. He's the only one I don't have any issues with, and I just think he's really entertaining, and I like his bubbly personality, and I think he's funny. So, glad he's back, and I'm excited to see what happens. I'm still upset because they're talking about, right now in the scene I'm reading, the third animal that they want to catch. Again, I'm being vague because I don't want to give too many spoilers, and it's reminding me of what happened in the second book where they just found the second animal within like 20 pages of talking about it. So I'm still annoyed because it seems like this third book is going to be largely about them trying to find this third animal, which makes me even more upset that the second animal was found so quickly in the second book. But besides that, I am definitely enjoying this one more, and I'm excited to read it. It's not something I feel like I want to finish just to say I finished it. Okay, just really quick. I hate how Alina is, her new mantra is despise your heart, and is just trying to go against what we all know she wants and what we all know would make her happy. And I get that she thinks she's doing it for the greater good, but I hate it. Okay, there was just a huge plot twist in this story that I did not see coming at all, and maybe I should have, because they're kind of explaining it and it makes sense, and there was definitely foreshadowing, but wow, I am shocked. Things are getting juicy. Okay, so I have now finished reading Ruin and Rising, and I wanted to just give some of my thoughts on it. So overall, I really did not like this book. I think I gave it 2 stars, but now that I'm thinking about it more, maybe I should have given it 1. I was trying to collect my thoughts for the end of this video and talk about what I liked and what I didn't like. And so I can start with what I liked, and there's actually only one thing I can think of that I liked for this book, and it was Genya and David's relationship. I really enjoyed getting to see their banter and just kind of anything that we saw with them I liked. I think David is a really unique character. I really liked reading about him. I think he was underrated for me for a lot of the first part of the series. Like, I didn't really think much of him because he kind of blended into the background. But in this book, we definitely got to see more of him, and I finally started to appreciate him for all that he was. So definitely like that. And then we know how I feel about Genya. I liked her from the first time I was introduced to her in the first book, so it was great to see her and David just end up together and be happy together. So that was something I did like about this book. And then the rest of the stuff that I'm going to talk about are things I didn't like, and there were a lot of things I didn't like about this book. Number 1, just the ending just made me so annoyed. I had to just collect my thoughts for a while after I read the ending because I was so pissed off. Number 1, it was too abrupt. It felt like they were gearing up this whole book to fight this war and prepare for it, and then when the fighting actually comes, it lasts for like 10 minutes, at least that's the way I interpreted it, and it's not even really a fight, or at least we don't really get to see a lot of what's going on in the fight. We just hear that people are getting attacked, and then Alina meets the Darkling and the ending happens, and it just seemed like all this build-up for a very, very, I don't know, not exciting ending. So it was a letdown for sure. What happened in the end in the fight. And then also I didn't like how of course the plot twist with Mal being the amplifier, and then Alina losing her power and just giving it to like some of the sun summoners, or I didn't even really understand like who got her power in the end. It seemed like just a random select few got it, and it was distributed among, like, how did they, that part wasn't explained to me very well. And then also this whole book is about Alina struggling between wanting to have power and being greedy and trying to pull that back and remain good. And so I thought, what was the point of me reading all of that if in the end she's just going to lose her power anyway? I feel like this whole journey was about her coming to terms with the fact that she's super powerful and how people treat her now and all this, and then for what if in the end she just lost it? I don't know. I was like really unhappy with that. I know that some people do like that was the ending because the message is supposed to be that no one should have that much power or whatever, but I just was like, I read all this inner monologue about Alina talking about how she's worried that she's going to turn evil because she has all this power, and then in the end it just gets taken away from her, and it's just like, why did I even read all those pages of her inner thoughts then? It just felt like a waste of time. So I hated that. Also, I absolutely hate that Mal and Alina ended up together, number 1. And number 2, that Mal ends up with her only when her power is taken away from her, because he never accepted her when he found out she was powerful. He was being so petty and he was so insecure through this whole series, and then in the end he gets what he wants because her power is taken away. And I hated that ending. Like, I just don't like the message that's sending. Like, Alina had to dull herself down for him. I mean, she didn't do it intentionally, but I hate the way that ended up. And then the last thing that I hated most about this was that Nikolai was not in this book at all. He was the only redeeming character in this whole series outside of Genya. And he gets turned into, like, it's again not even explained. He gets turned into what? This like weird demon thing with wings and half human. He has claws. and he like can sometimes be a human and recognize Alina, and then other times he's trying to eat her. Like, that part was just poorly done in the first place. It was just not explained very well what even happened to him. And also, number two, I felt like it was a cop-out because I felt like it was written that way so that he didn't have to be in the book that much, which was annoying. And also, again, I wanted to see more of Nikolai, and we just didn't get that with this thing that happened to him. So that was the last thing that I just didn't enjoy about this book. Overall, definitely won't read it again. This series overall was a miss for me. I don't feel attached to it. I think there was definitely more things I didn't like about it than I did. So that's a bummer because I was really hoping that I would really enjoy this series and be into it. But yeah, like I said, it was a miss. I wouldn't read it again. I don't feel attached to it. I will be reading King of Scars because I know that that's about Nikolai, and I really enjoy reading about him. So I'm not done with this author yet, but this series was definitely not enjoyable for me. And now I am reading Six of Crows because I was planning to read this trilogy and then the duology right after. And I'm about halfway through that book. And so I will update us more on my thoughts with that because I'm coming out with a reading vlog for that. Another miss for me was this book, definitely. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
Waking up feeling like it's gonna rain.